Welcome to the second episode of Let's Look at Some Designs. Shout out to Designing Me. All right, we're just going to look at some designs again. This is design analysis number 2. We're over here on Dribbble, and we're going to take a look and see what's going on. We're going to get an idea for design, look at things like typography, layouts, content, and just kind of just do it to get our mind around it so we can think about design, so we can become better designers and web developers. So let's start. Okay, so this is from Remotion. They're available for work. So I always love seeing stuff like this. As a programmer, I see stuff like this. It's like, but it's just cool, I guess. It's just design. That's what design's about, is looking good. So we got these polymorphic drop shadows, some charts that mean stuff. Okay, cool. Come here. Everything's animated. You can't even pause. I'm not gonna lie, as a programmer, if someone gave me this and was like, "Hey, this is what we want to build," I'd look at them dead in the face and be like, "You better have $50,000. Give me $50,000, because there's a lot of elements in that. That is a crazy site. Give me something simpler, like, okay." I love this. I love the buttons when they're like, what do they call this? Polymorphic. I think that's what it's called. When it looks like it's physical, like it looks like you could touch it, right? It looks like a hard asset. It has hard line drop shadows, and it looks like 3D off the website. I really, really always like that kind of energy. It feels very technology. I also like the header on this, where it's not like your standard just straight bar across. You have a search icon sign in this, and you have, I'm assuming, this pill that would slide right and left. I like that. Maybe we can move into like a more 2024 header type thing on websites. No more just standard bars. Or even like this, I think I just saw. Yeah, like this, how it's a floating bar and there's actually like padding around it. The problem with headers that I find on a lot of client websites and things is that they always want to put way too much in it. Like, they're always like, I want a logo and 10 other things and 50 links and 2 buttons. Like, dog, keep your header lean and mean, chat. Like, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in the header. You can have sub pages, make an appointment, great. And if you need more, you have to do like mega menu. You have to have it like almost like, who's a great example of mega menu? I bet you Target is. Sorry, I won't click on Target's ad. I'll click on your not ad. So you see you got 1, 2, 3, 4 things in the menu, a static search bar, which is nice. They could do some of that. But if you click this, or categories, that's actually not as good as I expected. I expected a big mega menu. I mean, this isn't horrible. It's a leaner, but you see how it's like, who would be another one? Walmart might have it, I guess. No, they're even not doing mega menus. Who is it that I know has it? Ulta Beauty. Why do I think Ulta has it? Or Ulta? Beauty sites tend to. Oh, you see how nasty this is? Look how disgusting. I just got to the website. I got a pop-up here, a weird black box here, this consent thing. Like, dog, like, leave me alone. Get out of my face. That's the worst experience. What are some other... Gosh, I know of one. I don't know of one. What are some other big box? Let's see if Amazon. Hopefully I don't dox any of my shopping. Yeah, I guess it's a good example. Is a better example. You see, it has like a drop down and it has like a menu, and it's like a big box and it has. But anyways, you didn't have to cut me off. Anyways, yeah. So I like how this is like a more modern header. It looks really cool. Big fonts. Times. No, not Times. Serif fonts. I feel like are getting a comeback. I think serif is the way to move, like Times New Roman and things like that. They look really elegant. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see another one. Portable Shield. I think that was an ad. Yeah, well, let's look at their website then. Who is this on? Samsung? Let's look at Samsung's website. Okay, this is what I mean. This is a great example of a mega menu. So you have your shop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da, 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 and then when you hover, you see how you get all these options. That's what you need to do, unless you're, you know what I mean? If you want 1,000 things up here, you need to do stuff like this. I love the animations on that too. This is an on hover, and we can do things like this. You know, it'd be probably nice if I built out like a custom header that had some nice animations. Because, I mean, oftentimes out the box, just WordPress navigation menus. And I mean, we could do so much better than that. Let's be so for real. I like that everything slides. You know what I mean? Nice back border radius, see-through images with floating badges is cool. You see, I like that. Like this image product. This is a product image. I show you. So you see, I was like number 1. So in this product image has these elements in it, but there's also no background. So when they put it on here, it looks like these floating badges, which is actually pretty cool, and that they keep it consistent. I need a new phone, guys. Should I get a Samsung? I have a Samsung laptop. Samsung laptop is actually really good. I very much enjoy it. Touchscreen, very nice. All right, shout out Samsung. That's probably the best website we've seen so far in here. It's the ad. Prime Put. I just hate that it's like, I mean, I don't hate it because it's just showcasing design, but like, what the frick is this? Like, if I'm hiring a web designer and they say, look at this golf ball in the grass, I'm like, dog, like, the fuck? Again, and you look at this, it's like, look at this page, and it's nice, like, there's nothing wrong with this page, but this is just a standard ecom page, black, you know what I mean? But maybe that's the whole point. Maybe I'm missing it. And this looks like Shopify. This is a Shopify theme. Golf putting. Is that a Shopify theme? Why they got Shop Pay on there? Phenomenon Studio. Make data work for you. Again, I like this header. I like that it's not a standard header bar. I like that it blends with the site. I like the blues and whites, and I like the reverse buttons on the call to actions. Very nice. Very, very nice. This looks like a cool one. Yeah, there's like a single product site or a product site. Product showcase image, nice font use. I like this layout of big box. I don't like the, see how much space is above like this, like right here. You know if you can see that. I don't like that. That's weird. You'd almost want to see like them just like make these boxes into like rectangles, but then I guess it wouldn't match the bottom height here. That's probably what the problem was. And they could make this shorter, but then it would, you know what I mean? They'd have to crop it up, or like they would need a different image, because they're either going to crop the bottom of the bag if they do that, or the top of his head, and you can't do that. Well, kind of like this. I guess you could crop a head, top of the head. They're doing it over here, so why not do it here? He does got cool hair though. That's probably like, he's got cool hair. And why has he got AirPod? Where's his AirPods? Why has he got the wires still? Anyways, that's not important. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like this 5 design. I've seen this a couple places where it's like 1 box, 2 box, big box, 1 box, 2 box. It's pretty modern, because if you think of it from like a web development perspective, what you have is one giant row, right? And then in there you actually have columns. So this is a column, 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 and then in the column you have container, 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 and then only one container here. Where although and like visually you would think like row, it's actually not. It's a big row, column, 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 container, 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 container. So 5 containers, 3 columns, 1 row. You feel me? You feel me? And then shout out Flexbox, because Flexbox makes things like that phenomenal. What you got? This looks kind of interesting because it looks simple. This looks like out the box design. People love these like background box border type things for Meet the Team. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, you guys can see just from here, like you're like, wow, that looks so nice. And it does, I agree. But how much the images on this are what make this nice, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, the font, the layout is cool. If you start thinking about like, here's the thing with like designers have like, they just like a blank piece of paper, right? And they can just like drop things on it, like a collage. They're like, oh, let me put this here and put this here and put this here and put this here and put this here. And it's a collage and it's pretty. And then in programming though, things work in grids. So things are like grid based, right? And you can do things like absolute, but things have to be within containers, and then containers have to be like, within grids. And then you can do things like absolute positioning, and you can use transform and CSS to push things out of the grids, and you can do a lot of overlap, but then things get weird for responsive. So then it makes responsive not impossible. None of it's impossible. It just makes the workload higher. So like when there's a lot of overlapping, because you could imagine, I'll show you. I'm going to do this. Let's break this down as like how I would see it as a web developer real quick. You didn't have to cut me off. So, okay. So we have this image, right? This is our design. We get handed this design like, Chris, this is what we want to make. I'm like, okay, great. So that as soon as I start thinking, here's what I start thinking about. I start thinking about how are we going to lay this out, right? So obviously one, why is it so big? You didn't have to cut. So obviously one, we have this bar up here, bada bing. So that can be one container. We can have a group container here. We can have a group container here. This can be an image. This can be a nav menu. You feel me? So that's basically that covers the header, right? Header is covered. That's fine. We can put that fixed if we want. We can do whatever. For the rest of this, you start thinking, how is this going to work? Because again, remember rows, grids, containers. We have what could be one giant row, right? And things are squares. But you see how many now overlapping elements there are? So we'd have to adjust for that. So let's say we did do one giant row, which probably is the easiest. And then this would probably be, we can make one giant row, make it relative. And then inside this row, this would be a container just for the text here. And then this could be like an absolute position div to top right, right? So like this will just be in the top right of this relative container, which should be fine. So that will float up there. Now we could also put this inside of here and then scale it up and then transform it down a little bit. So it breaks the container. Might not be a bad idea. That's probably what we would do. And then we'd probably do the same thing with this. We'd probably put this actually as an absolute. This would technically be down here. I know it might seem weird, but this would actually be down here. And this is actually cool. I like that I'm doing this. This might be what we do for future videos. It's just kind of like break down designs as a developer. I think that'd be pretty cool. So then this would be put down here, and then we can absolute that div. This would get pushed over here. We can float it off to the like top, bottom 0 or bottom 100, left 100 type thing. You know what I mean? And this will be an absolute div now. But then what you have, so now we have this absolute element. We have this absolute element. And the thing with absolute elements is that unlike relative elements and block style elements like that, they don't, when you make things move, they don't respond well. So you have to set CSS queries for them and get them in the right position on multiple screen sizes. And it's fine. Like I said, it just makes more work. And so now we have, and then this too, we have to get weird because it's breaking the div. And then when things break divs, like this would also be one row, right? And then same thing with this. This could be a container here. We could have a fake container here. We have another container here. Or we can just do two big containers and have these like a line left and a line right. And then this image could just be down at the bottom. Again, a big image, absolute value it, push them up, scale it up. And then there we go. We have all these absolute, we have all these elements. Versus, right? So that's what happens. So then in this scenario, we would have one absolute. In this scenario, this is a longer video. In this scenario, we'd have one absolute, two absolute, 3, 4, and then these. I mean, you see how they're like the pad. This might just be padding. We can push these down into, and it depends if these are fixed. Those might be fixed. This is fixed. So we have 4 absolute positioned elements, all just within the header. So each one of these would then require custom media queries to get it corrected on responsive devices and things like that. But yeah, so that's why as a developer, when you see stuff like this, you're like, yeah, this is really cool, right? And it's nice, but let's show you maybe like an example real quick and then we'll be done of something that is more developer friendly. Not saying it's a better design, but just that it's more developer friendly. This is the last thing. So again, more developer friendly. This would be a lot less dev time because, as you see, nothing really has to be absolute. This is fixed, or this is relative, relative, relative. These are all 3 containers inside this one big container. This is perfect. Again, we have our hero, which is one big hero image. Container, 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 then 3, or maybe even like, 1 container and 3 containers, and then 1 image, which could theoretically be the background image to this entire big container, depending on how they want it to scale, or it can be just an image on the right. Like this could be 2 columns. But then you could also have like these little elements. You see these little fly around elements. These could be absolute positioned images. So you could put like little images down here, absolute position them, and then just send them wherever you want. But they're not huge elements on the design. So again, that if this is like a little bit over here, a little bit over here, this is like a little bit over here, a little bit over here, this is, you know what I mean? And then as you change the screen size, as it moves, it's not as crazy. But you see the difference? So no absolute, really no absolute positioned elements there, but in the other one, there's a lot of absolute. More dev friendly. Not saying it's a better design, just saying, yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys, that's it. That was our second design analysis. I like the last part. I think we're going to do that more. So we'll like take an image, we'll look at it, we'll start breaking it up into positions and into dev boxes. And I think we'll do that for the future. Yeah, guys, welcome. Peace.